Hello there, Katarakis! I'm back for another episode of the 25 Centavo Change Podcast. This is your host, author MJ, and we will be discussing more of the valuable lessons and wisdom that we learned from the 25 centavo coin for this episode. This episode is entitled The Healing Power of Writing. What is the healing power of writing? Today, we will talk about how writing can help us feel better and how writing will help us express ourselves better. Yan. You know, before we proceed, I would like to greet everyone who are here at Bartek, here at KM4, dito po sa Bartek Cafe. Is it cafe? Yeah. 'Di ba? Hindi ko alam kung ano yung kasunod, but I would like to greet everyone who are here sa Bartek Cafe. And if you would like to meet with your friends, meet and greet with your friends, do your projects in a atmospheric cafe, right? Where pwede kayong makagawa ng mga projects niyo while you chit-chat with your friends and have those sumptuous meal and milk tea. Dito lang po tayo sa Bartek Cafe. Dito sa kilometer 4 La Trinidad, Benguet. And moving on, one lesson, one wisdom that I would like to impart tonight in this episode is when life gets tough or we feel sad, many of us find comfort in writing. I, for one, I do journaling, I create poetry, and I also tell stories. And this is some sort of writing that would make me feel comfortable and would make me feel lighter, maybe, and would make me feel I am alive. So, nakakabuhay po ang pagsusulat. Diba? Studies have shown that writing can do wonders for our minds. It's like letting out a deep breath after holding it in for too long. It's a sigh of relief, as they say. When we write down our thoughts and feelings, it's like we are taking control of them. We start to understand ourselves better and make sense of what's happening. Personally, I can attest to this. As now a published author, kahit isa pa lang po ang napapublish natin na creative nonfiction, self-help and family that talks about family values, I can attest to this. How writing healed a portion of scar or wound in my heart or in my life. Paano nga ba nakatulong? Well, writing also lets us look inside ourselves. Yun nga, it gave me that opportunity para makita ko kung ano yung nasa loob ko, kung ano yung nasa isip ko, kung ano yung nararamdaman ko during that duration or even sa past. My childhood, teenage life, and even now that I am in my motherhood, parenthood, and also as a wife, as a career woman, and as a person who continuously strive for the balance of everything, trying to balance relationship and family, and even yung mga personal and professional context natin, hindi ba? We keep on thinking about how to balance them, how to get through every day, paano kumalalagpasan itong araw-araw na ito. So, hindi lang yung past childhood, hindi lang yung teenage life, or hindi lang yung ngayon, yung natutulungan para makita, hindi lang ito yung mailalabas kapag ikaw ay nagsulat. So, yan. Bear with my Filipino. Subukan nating gawing Taglish para matuto din ako mag-Filipino. Because why not how can I help my son magsalita ng Filipino if I cannot even speak in Filipino, right? So yes, he is one of the few who is struggling sa pagsasalita ng Filipino. It's because probably her mom is not doing her task. Really. So we can explore our thoughts as well. Hindi lang yung sa sarili natin deep inside, pero pwede na-explore din natin yung pag-iisip natin, yung mga paniniwala natin, and even our values. During this time, I wanted to share something about grief, something about loss. But at the same time, I wanted it sana na hindi yung masyadong mabigat. Hindi yung hindi yung masyadong madilim. Not too heavy, not too dark. Hence, I was so amazed and was so thankful kasi the title, the 25 Centavo Change, A Tale of Loss and Values Gained, is actually in the middle of my manuscript. And I was so amazed how gaano ka-patient yung aking book coach. Hello, book coach, our coach, Chris Dawanes, who's author of a lot of books and also a speaker and trainer dito sa Cordilleran writer and author as well. He inisa-isa talaga niya to see doon sa part na yun. He tried to understand me as a writer. And in the middle of the manuscript, doon niya nakita yung A Tale of Loss and Values Gained. And he actually mentioned that, pinagpapawisan ako. He actually mentioned that I think you have to choose, you try to consider this title because it is actually intriguing, interesting, and it actually speaks about the story that you wanted to share. And from there, the values that I wanted to share as well, nandoon sa value ng 25 centavo coin and the wisdom from there. So when he explained to me about that, I reflected and I tried to understand paano nga ba, paano ko siya i-share, how will I share the values in a lighter note, not trying to force you if you have also encountered loss na ito yung dapat mong gawin. Hindi in a sense that hindi ko sinasabi na these are the steps that you should be doing. This is the cycle that you should be doing because why would I do that? Iba-iba tayo ng cycle, iba-iba tayo ng pacing, iba-iba din tayo ng time. So, yun yung sinasabi nila na heal on your own time. Heal at your own pace, kumbaga. And this is where, or the beginning of how writing would heal us by acknowledging our thoughts, acknowledging our beliefs, acknowledging our fears, yung mga bagay na ayaw nating pag-usapan, you put them into writing, and that's where I started to 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 internalize to internalize and to debrief actually myself from the painful past, from the painful things that happened in my life, specifically losing my mom at as a young age. So 15 is very young for me. How much more for dun sa iba na mas bata pa, di ba? So that's the fact. Sometimes life throws tough stuff at us and we feel overwhelmed. Nakaka-overwhelm nga naman. As a teenager na nawalan ng nanay, it was overwhelming. I would not say that I accepted the fact, but it took me time even until uh, college that hindi ko pa siya tanggap buong buo. I would not really talk about it. That means I would still imagine that she's just far away. The fact is, ini-imagine ko minsan that she's just overseas and she'll be coming home someday. She'll be coming home one day. I even have her number still registered in my phone book, in my contacts. Not until nawala yung phone ko na yun, tsaka ko nakalimutan. Memorize ko pa nga yata. It is something like the old numbers of Smart before, and I wanted to keep on ringing it sometimes because it's really difficult to just say na tanggap ko na wala na siya. Tanggap ko na hindi ko siya makikita in this life. Even with the fact na I would not say naman na wala akong faith pa. Sasabihin ng iba kasi na you pray kasi there's afterlife. I am so much aware about that meron tayong tinatawag na afterlife. I mean, I believe in that. I'm also a Christian, and I do believe na one day we will be there, we will meet her, and we will be reunited, and I'll be able to hug her once more when that time comes in his time, diba? But the reality is we are here in this world, and the reality speaks about pain of losing someone, in the sense na hindi mo siya na pag-uusapan, hindi mo siya napaprocess. So that's the term. Hindi mo siya napaprocess, not even every day. Iniiwasan mo siya. It's just there, and it's piling up. Lumolobo yung pain, lumolobo yung pagkamismo dun sa taong nawala, because you just don't want to talk about the incident of losing her. So writing can be a way to deal with these tough emotions, and doon ako humugot ng lakas ng loob. For those of you, for my friends who've known me for so long, in college, I used to give this tiny notes where I write things about you, I write things about the feelings that I have every day, and it helped me a lot. Nakatulong siya ng napakalaki. Nakatulong iso na to process the thoughts that I wanted to convey. Though I have my pain, I have the pain also within me. At least I am able to somehow share messages every day. So, minsan lang, mga konting notes lang noon. Post-it notes, and then mga maiiksing notes. Hindi ko na matandaan, but I used to have a compilation of those. I compiled them and kept on reading them every day. And I would just wonder, I wonder what was the context of this. So right now, ngayon, yung mga nagpo-post on social media, especially Facebook, diba, nakikita nyo, I was like 20 something, hindi masyadong I was like 25 dito nung sinulat ko to. Ano bang context nito? What was I thinking when I wrote this and those things? What was I feeling during that time na ito yung sinulat ko, ito yung pinost ko, diba? So, minsan, parang, oh my God, I have a regret. Bakit ko to pinost? Minsan din, napaproud ka that, during this time, during this phase in my life, I was sad, I was like feeling blue, hindi maganda yung pakiramdam ko, but right now hindi ko na nararamdaman yung ganon, yung space na nawawala. So nare-realize natin yan, because when we put our feelings into words, it's like we're putting them outside of ourselves. It helps us see things from a different perspective and find peace. A different perspective, sometimes the perspective or the lens that you are right now would become different like 5 years from now, or even it is different from 5 years ago. Diba? Hindi lang po fats at hindi lang po weight ang natu-throwback ng 5 years ago. Even our thoughts, the way that we think, the way that we feel before, we also have those through writing. We will be able to reflect kung paano tayo mag-isip dati, paano natin na-handle yung mga bagay-bagay dati, bakit dati kayang-kaya ko, bakit ngayon parang, what's the difference, diba? Bakit parang ngayon konti lang ang bigat-bigat na ng mundo. But why was it before, kahit pa tumambling ka at lahat-lahat nagagawa mo, di ba? College life lang ba? Di ba? Kahit ano, magpuyat, ano ba, maaga, 7:30 class, kahit pagka-traffic ng galing Camp Nangwa hanggang Baguio, tatakbuhin mo ang magsaysay, paakyat. Those who've experienced the same thing. And aakyatin mo yung hagdan kasi wala namang elevator. Huwag ka lang malate. Kasi hindi pwedeng malate. You're in a business course, so hindi ka pwedeng malate. Lalo na. And of course, kahit hindi business course, diba? For those who've experienced those are things, experiences in our past na would teach us to become better. And if you have those in mind, you write them and you finally realize, okay, I've learned from this part of my life, of my young life. Ganito pala yon, kaya pala okay ako ngayon, kasi kaya pala nakakaya ko siya ngayon, kasi before I experienced this. So pag nakikita natin, 'di ba, my album, mahilig kami, my cousin and I, who's classmate ko din and a friend. And hello there sa lahat ng taga Sydney, Australia. Hello Lani and family. Thank you so much for accommodating us when we were there. we used to gather our pictures. Tas alam niyo may mga piso print ng mga photos before. So since hindi masyadong mga cute lang siya, pero at least you have a memory. So kapag at least nung nasira ang Friendster, 'di ba? Meron kaming memory in our albums, and we used to write for each other, to each other pala. Nagsusulatan kami ng ganito yung message, give me a message. Minsan we go to fast food chain, fast food, ano ba? Sorry, fast food restaurant. We go to fast food restaurant. Minsan pumupunta kami doon, and then alam niyo po yung tissue, yung pinakamatibay ang tissue kasi si KFC. Baka naman KFC. Doon namin sinusulat minsan yung message to each other from 10 years of mga years from now, ano kaya yung ganito, ano kaya yung ganyan. We're trying to write those things, and reflecting doon kasi we have a box where we put those letters. Nagre-reflect ka, during this time, kahit medyo mahirap yung exam namin, nagawa namin, nakaya namin. So, those things that we wrote for each other, it reminds us of how resilient we were. Even the resilient word was not yet that popular before. Yan, resilient pala kami dati, diba? And isa pa, another one is, from my own experience, I've learned that writing, not writing can heal, yes, but it would also bring you to a place of tranquility, serenity. Kagaya din ng iba who travel, na may pinupuntahan silang ibang lugar. Ang pagsusulat, we also travel in thoughts, and we also try to find that peace that would heal a wound na minsan hindi din natin ma-identify kung saan ba galing. Like, whatever trauma na nag-cause dun sa pain na nararamdaman natin. I know from my experience, and probably you too know, that writing can really bring us that healing and peace. So when things have been hard for me, writing has become my friend. It was difficult to be alone kasi yung panganay namin before nagpunta ng abroad. I think even my other sister, they were abroad, and I was in college, and it was difficult because just to be on your own, to decide for your own what to eat, and even the bigger decisions in life. No one would actually give you that feeling of assurance than yourself. Minsan, even good job! Ikaw din magsasabi sa sarili mo na, good job, pumasa ka sa accounting, o diba, yung mga ganong things. Good job, na yung pinagpuyatan mong mga bagay, naging successful, good job, nagawa mo. And even the things na hindi alam ng iba, na parang for people from your outside circle, they would think like, parang ang dali-dali lang naman nung ginagawa niya. Parang ang dali-dali lang naman ng kurso niya. Bakit pa siya bumabagsak and all those things. Akala ko ba madali na siya, di ba? Napapahugot tayo. Na-experience din po natin yan before. Like, akala ko ba madali na siya, bakit siya bumagsak? Yeah, I did not pass accounting before. That's why I shifted into marketing. And that's one thing that I would like to reflect on. I kept on writing those before na I felt sad, of course. Sabi nila, matalino siya pero bumagsak siya. Those things before, parang masakit siya dating tanggapin. But, I moved on into accepting na, okay, if it's not for me, and I would like to say thank you sa aking accounting professor who actually encouraged me na meron kang ibang galing at huwag mong ipilit sa isang bagay na hindi naman para sa'yo. Pakiramdaman mo, hindi rin nakakasakit to accept na may mga bagay tayong hindi talaga nakatadahan na para sa atin. And so I accepted that. And when I shifted into marketing, I loved it. That's where I actually embraced marketing and research. So, mahal ko siya. Minahal ko siya dahil minahal niya rin ako. Charot. May ganun, di ba? So, ito pa, maraming beses na yung writing has saved me, and it actually gave me that power to understand myself, and sometimes it makes me feel calmer. So, ako yung madaming planner na kung ano na lang sinusulat, or minsan walang sulat pero next year, kumbaga tapos na yung taon, tapos susulatan ko sa susunod na taon. Ako yun. I'll just write some quotes or anything that nagre-reflect on that day kung anong nararamdaman ko during that day, but not in particular. Maybe for others, isipin nila, journaling, nakakapagod yung date na everyday. I don't write everyday unlike the others. But, uh, if I feel like writing and I need to let things out, to steam ba, sabi nila, na palabasin yung kung ano yung nararamdaman mo na hindi maganda sa araw na yun or during that entire week, I just write them. I normally use metaphors. So, ako po talaga yun. Hindi ako diretso na naiinis ako dito sa isang taong to. No. It's like, we say, this day was dark. So many dragons were out. I just try to find things, not to mention the names, of course, kasi that's a journal. Anytime somebody might read it, and I don't really wanted to give the impression naman na, kasi that's my perspective. I don't really know, and that's the way I think. That's my mindset. That's my perspective. They probably have their own perspective. Kaya we really have to respect that naman. But if you really need to argue and argue your case, well, then you are very much welcome to argue your case also. In in line with the research, they say that writing can be especially helpful for people who've been through tough times. It can make us feel better physically and emotionally. I can literally, I'm using the literally, I can really attest to this as well. For after being able to write and publish yung book, the story of our life, our family life, though it has been difficult to remember the things kasi I actually have a vivid memory, and it's like everything's coming back and it's crying all over again. There was even a time that I told my coach, I think I won't publish this anymore. Parang ayoko na coach. So sabi niya, take a rest, sleep if you must, think about it. Sabi nga niya, the message that you need to set out to the world, what if think of that person who needs to listen or hear the message that you need to bring or convey to the world. Hence, in the end, writing is a powerful tool for feeling better and expressing ourselves. I was able to convey my message that in a way that may mga na-inspire, and this is very touching that until now may pa isa-isa po tayong nagme-message sa atin and they say, ma'am, your book is inspiring, you inspired me to write my story as well, and I wanted to purchase one of your books kasi ma'am, gusto ko pong basahin yung story nyo kasi nakaka-relate po ako every time I see posts, and I wanted to be a writer as well kahit hindi ako masyadong magaling. Those messages that actually assures me that I did something good writing the story kahit na I'm actually criticizing myself within. I'm saying hindi ako masyadong magaling, hindi ganyan-ganyan. But I come from a trauma of the past that my works has been criticized as well. I've been laughed at as well. I've been questioned na hindi naman talaga siya magaling. Yung ate niya lang yung nagdadala. I've heard those things before. I've had a lot of criticisms before, and look at where it led me right now. So dahil in the end, writing would whether it's writing about your day, creating poems, or sharing your stories, writing can also help us grow, not just heal, but it would actually help us grow. And that's, I would say, help me grow. My sister forcing me to go into writing, na sabi niya, sige magsulat ka na, maging ganito ka, and all. I started with the feature writing until I learned the other technical writing, and then there's no better way of learning but than doing. So learning by doing, that's actually a theory, right? So thank you very much for listening to this episode, the healing power of writing. And I would also want to say thank you to my fellow authors and fellow writers who have been there supporting us, supporting our advocacy of letting the stories be heard, letting the message be heard, and learning from the wisdom of um, learning from the wisdom, kahit mga simpleng bagay lang sa buhay natin. So marami pa po tayong authors and writers here in the Cordillera na unheard yung mga stories nila. And I do encourage you to come out. As someone who's introverted, I do encourage you to come out, write your stories, and we will be learning from each other. If you do want to learn how to write, or you do want to learn how to publish your books, please message us here. Message me here on Teraki TV dito sa ating podcast, the 25 Centavo Change Podcast. And join us next time as we explore more ways of writing and how can it help us on our journey to feeling better and discovering ourselves. Thank you so much for those who are following Taraki TV and our podcast, the 25 Centavo Change Podcast. And also for those who have been purchasing our book, the 25 Centavo Change, A Tale of Loss and Values Gained. Thank you so much din po sa walang sawang pagsuporta sa lahat ng aking ginagawa. To my Toastmasters family and JCI family, I would also like especially mention my Taraki TV family for always supporting our ideas and supporting our creativity. Until the next episode, bye!